Commish is in the house tonight. Yes. Yes, sir. Doors will be opening very soon. Apologize for the wait, sir. Any second. Enjoy the show. Yes, sir. This is the Raider Nation Report. Yes, sir. Every Tuesday. Yeah, line is to the right. Yes, ma'am. VIP is to the left. Yes, the new mini bar is open. Absolutely, absolutely. Please say hi to the midgets on the way in. Line to the right, sir. To the right. Thank you. Yes, we do have a new smoking lounge in the back. Please enjoy yourself. Just past the new mini bar. Yes, VIP to the left, regular line to the right. Yes, ma'am, you have to be on a few weeks in advance. Let me know your name, please, and I'll check to see if you're on. Yeah, VIP, you can go ahead and start going in. Thank you. Appreciate your patience. Show will be starting very soon. These guys like to run a tight show. Just getting fired.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Sure thing. Alright, just needed to make sure everything was in order. We didn't look like a cheap cuck and kung fu movie here. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. This is the Raider Nation Report. A solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. For those of you that are just joining us, and you're new around here, let me give you some simple directions, shall we? So you can find your fucking way back. We can be found just down the street, past that house, with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner. Ask our man Joe. He's a gentleman. He's a scholar. He's got mouths to feed. Slip in what you should. He's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left and then a right. As you find yourself strolling down the street, mind your own goddamn business. Probably, singing a song, just chilling along. You're going to pass this creepy motherfucking alley to your immediate right. Now, as you pass this alley, the cool breeze is going to hit you that chills you right to your skeletal core. And you'll find yourself asking, Was that the autumn wind? Oh, you goddamn right. That felt much more like the autumn wind. Should you venture down that deep, dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end, even if it's 15 minutes fucking late, is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And I know I'm fucking up Chad's snack schedule. He had his snacks all laid out, ready to go. Fucking. And I fucked up his whole rhythm. He done got half through the nachos already. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm fucking up your snack schedule on your Tuesday night, but you know, we got to adapt and overcome. Just like the Raiders did on Monday night. You got to adapt and overcome. It was a bad connection. I couldn't, and it was not due to my fault. Facebook bad connection. So I had to reboot, make sure that we come through crystal clear. It's all about the product. We don't want to be like fucking some old Max Headroom shit all the way through this thing. So we got to clean it up. Thank you all for joining me, each and every damn one of you. I know we're still relishing, and I know we're still basking in. It's still Victory Tuesday. I mean, we usually don't have a show on Mondays because I like to dig deep into the nuts and bolts of what happened on Sunday on Monday, so that I'm more prepared on Tuesday. So I didn't get my coach's tape to go through before the game. I got through the game again, but I always like to go through the coach's tape. And I tell you, man, people call me out and say I'm full of shit, but whatever. I feel if you're going to come on and you're going to give your opinion and you're supposed to speak intelligently, I like to have as much knowledge about said topic as I can. I think that's just being, I mean, I'm not a professional. Nobody's paying me anything for this. So I think that's just being credible, I guess. And I would like to be credible. I like to be credible. So it's a great win. I'm like I said, I'm still half-ass fucking giddy from the win yesterday. It hasn't fucking worn off yet. It's still, you know, it's not even 24 hours old. You know, we're like 22 hours. We're not even a full 24-hour cycle yet from the win last night. So we've got a lot to get into. There's a lot to talk about. It's a positive week. We won't be as negative as we were last week when you're looking at 1-3. 2-3 looks a lot better coming off a win, coming off a home win, coming off a primetime win. There's a lot of positives that can be taken, but it can be. There was definitely some negative as well. There's a couple of different ways to get the coach's tape. We're NFL media, so I put in the application years ago. So believe it or not, Raider Reaction is official NFL media. We can get media credentials to fucking events and shit. I've got a few hanging back here where I've been to NFL events as I'm with Raider Reaction. Sign here. Here's your fucking lanyard. You know, so I've been to a few events. I've stood next to ESPN with my fucking phone while they're standing there with their fucking camera. But so we can get it through that. There's also, if you have NFL Game Pass, you can get the coach's tape through there as well. You can get the condensed version. You can get the full game tape, and you can also get the full coach's tape as well. And the coach's tape will give you 3 angles of every play, which is with no audio, no nothing, just fucking raw footage, and it's great. The coaches' tapes are fucking amazing to watch and it's great you don't have to watch the whole tape because you know the critical moments of the game. So you go to the critical moments of the game and you can go through the coaches' tape and you can look at certain players and you can answer questions for yourselves like, why is this happening? Go watch that fucking player for, you know, a quarter, just him. In fast forward, rolling through. Well, let's slide that back. What? Right? And you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised the things that you can see. Football is not a complicated game. And the fucking people that say, oh, well, why aren't you a coach then if you're so fucking smart? Well, why aren't you a general manager? Well, hey, I'm not in the fucking good old boy club, and I'm not in the fucking back room stroking the fucking right guys, okay? That's how half these guys get their fucking jobs. There's 32 of these positions in the fucking world. It's not an easy gig to get, and I'm not in the fucking coaching profession to begin with. I coach fucking youth sports. I'm not on that level, but it's definitely not due to intelligence. Okay, I would beg to differ that the job that I do probably requires more intelligence than fucking moving some X and O's around on a fucking field and dealing with attitudes of fucking rich divas. It's a different kind of gig, is all it is. But if you have the right tools, just like any other fucking gig in the world, any other job, if you have the right tools so that you can look at everything and you can break down everything and you can look at every single player and what every single player is doing on every single play individually and break it down and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? It makes your job a lot easier. I'm telling you, you don't have to be a fucking goddamn genius. I'm telling you, Chad, football hasn't changed. From Pop Warner, when they went out there and they're teaching you the student body right, man, the motherfucking shit ain't changed much, okay? There's a pulling guard, it ain't changed much. It's all the same. Get to your spot and do your motherfucking job. Cumulatively, as a team, and you will be victorious. It's football. It's a beautiful, violent fucking thing. That's why we all love it. That's enough of my, fucking aimless rambling at the beginning of this show. Let's move this son of a bitch along. That's what happens when, I get delayed. I have to reboot shit. I'm all fucking geared up, ready to go, and then gotta hit the fucking brakes, reset, and get it. Let's get it. We got to touch on the Week 5 recap. I do got the YouTube chat rebooted. It hasn't been working the last couple weeks, so if you're over on YouTube, throw some comments up there. We'll see if we can get that bitch working. If not, we'll have to send it into the shop, see what the hell's going on. I don't know what's up with the YouTube chat. We got the QB Club. We are debuting the QB Club, a new segment we're gonna have weekly. We used to have a previous segment of a quarterback that will not be named on this show anymore, that we ixnayed, obviously, because he's not with the team anymore. So we're adding a new segment that will replace what used to be Used Car Talk. We got the QB Club now. Mad Max Crosby. We got to talk about Mad Max. Mad Max needs his own goddamn segment. Hello, Marco. How are you? How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Mad Max has to have his own fucking segment because Mad Max is just a fucking animal. The dude is an animal. I mean, Mad Max is one statistic away from being in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, and we'll talk about that later. The linebackers, we bitched, we needed them, we've cried for them. Do we have them? Are these the guys finally? We'll see. ESPN rankings. Hey, there's only one way to go. There's only one way to go from where they were last week, and that's up, baby. Sponsors Cool Kid in the newsletter. Pat's Preview Fan of the Week. We do have one. A return face. And the WTF. God, I got some dumb shit to talk about in the WTF, man. Some dumb shit. So be ready for that. And I don't know what's up with the YouTube chat. It does not seem to be firing on all cylinders. I'll give it another minute or two. But let's get into this recap, shall we? Let's get into this recap. Week 5. This was a must-win to me. This was an absolute must-win. You were at home, you were in front of the world, and if you lost this game, you dipped to 1-4, and that's a hard fucking hole to dig your way out of. The percentages of making the postseason and having a successful season after starting 1-4 in the National Football League is very, very low, and that's just not something you want to even play around with. So I thought this was a must-win game. I really thought this was a must-win game, and I was interested to see how Jimmy Garoppolo was going to perform coming back from being out a game. I said I thought they needed 6 weeks for them to fully gel on both sides of the ball. So you're still 2 games away or 1 game away from having that. So I still think they're in that growth period, but I would really got to look at this game as a story of 2 halves, man. Jimmy Garoppolo was accurate as fuck in the first half and was really dicing up the Green Bay defense with short passes, granted with short passes, but he was being very successful and very accurate and looked like he had control of what was going on out there. And then when he came out in the third quarter, it was a completely different offense. They just seemed inept. They didn't seem to be able to move the ball. And most of the third quarter just left me scratching my head like, what the fuck? Obviously, somebody made major adjustments, and it wasn't the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders coming out of the half because they looked lethargic, and they didn't even look like the same team at all. But what we've been calling for years in Raider Nation was for the defensive side of the ball to step up, to make the splash plays, to win games, and to be the catalyst that can drive this team to the victories that they haven't been able to get in seasons past. I've used the term and the phrase stepping on the throat I don't know how many times over the past several seasons since I've been doing Raider Reaction. And it's just something this team just doesn't do. They don't make the big plays on defense to close out games. They don't make the big stops. They don't force the big turnovers. They don't make the splash plays. And every one of those boxes was checked this weekend. 3 turnovers by way of interception is amazing. An amazing stat line for this defense, and a stat line that this defense has not seen for quite some time. That's gonna bug. There we go. That's gonna bug the shit out of me. Fuck you. I'm like a cat with a little laser pointer. One thing's off, it's gonna bug the shit out of me. But it was just a dominant performance, I thought, by the defense. Just they rattled Jordan Love. Mad Max Crosby was just in his face, and he wasn't the only one. The linebacker play was great. The fact that, and I have to ask this, and is the fact that Bennett wasn't out there, you know, the number 0 corner who plays like a fucking zero. It was the fact that he was not out there, the rookie, forced the hand to put guys in different positions. Tyler Hall, Amik Robertson, Marcus Peters, to have that trifecta play in a little different capacity and work together a little differently. I think it forced the hand to put those 3 together, and they played fucking phenomenal. They played phenomenal. They had some down moments. Marcus Peters is playing too far off. I feel like maybe he's lost a step. But when you see smart plays like the horse collar tackle, and the fact that the dude is calling out every fucking play before the snap. Did you see that on the field? He's yelling, it's going that way. It's coming this way. He's out there calling which side the play is going every time it's a run. Or if it's a short pass going that. He was out there, he's playing field general out on the field. And that's something, dude, this is why you have veterans on your team, and it's made up of a cornucopia of different kind of players. You got some rookies, some middle-of-the-road guys trying to make it. You know, you've got veterans, you've got a couple stars, you've got a mixture of everything to make a team. And you need a couple guys like Marcus Peters out there. And I like the fact that, man, I don't think Bennett was ready. I don't think he's that type of guy. And you can tell right off the bat if you're that type of shutdown corner, and I don't think he's it at all. We've seen number 1 wide receivers fucking feeding him his fucking lunch. He's been smelling like burnt toast all over the field. Diggs used him in Buffalo, and it's just gotten worse. And I think the injury could maybe slow up his playing time a little bit, because this defense looked a lot better without him out there on the field at corner. Dude, you can tell if you're ready for number 1 corner action as a rookie. You don't look like fucking Sauce Gardner or some of these top elite corners in the National Football League. And that's what you got to look like when you're coming out as a number 1. You know, you're 1 of 2 on 32 squads. I mean, you got to be elite. You are going against the best wide receivers in the league. You got to be ready to go. And Marcus Peters, Amik Robertson, and Tyler Hall were a much better combination out there at corner without having to put Bennett in the mix. Was he the weak link? You know, when you're tweaking knobs, just trying to fix things, and you're moving one piece here and one piece here. Well, this doesn't work because, and you're trying to figure out who's the weak link. You just moved one piece and you moved some guys around, and now you got the guys out on the field. And maybe this is the squad that you need out there. We'll see going forward, but they definitely look good. Jermaine Illuminor goes down. Thayer Munford Jr. comes in, fills in. He got a bulk of the snaps. 78% of the snaps on offense. So he was out there for a long time, as all the rest of the guys went 100% of the snaps on offense on the offensive line. The line's given up a little too much pressure, and they just don't. I don't see. This is basically the same line, minus one minor change at guard that you had last year that led the way for the league's leading rusher. So they did, and their pass protection just hasn't been there like it was last season either. I don't know what's up with this line, but they have not been solid, and they have not played well as a unit. But enough to get it done. It was enough to get it done this week, and but I still, the offensive line play has been sketchy. And then the special teams. For the special teams of the Raiders to not show up, and I'm surprised that Carlson wasn't on his game. As you had the brother battle there, you had the family there, you had the split jersey shit going on with the fucking brothers again, and like that hasn't been done over and over and over again. I mean, it's cute. It was cute the first fucking 5 times families did it. Now it's a thing. God damn, there's a lot of fucking goddamn families that get, what are you feeding these fucking kids? But you just thought he would have been a little more in his game at home, but his brother actually looked more impressive as a kicker, but Daniel went home with the W. So I think his brother would have probably rather had the W. But personally, out on the field, he did look good. Didn't look good. It was a block. I mean, he just caught it by a finger. If he didn't catch with that finger, he probably makes it most likely. So. And then you missed the other one. It's just what it is. I wouldn't get too critical of that. He's a money kicker. I'm sure he'll bounce back. It was one of those things, and luckily, it didn't end up costing the Raiders the game in the end. We were Lions. It was one of the big points of contention last year in the offseason that the O-line was the biggest question. You had Leatherwood going out before the season even started. He was the big question mark all the way through, and then he doesn't even make it into the season. You had Illuminor was thrust in there as the starter basically right out of the gate when he wasn't supposed to be the guy. So yeah, I think they overachieved last year, and now you're kind of seeing some of those question marks that we had last year, I think, are coming to the surface. Good point for Lions out there. Look at him, the fucking gold star comment out there. That was a good point there. Good point. As a whole, it was a good win. It was a must win. You had to keep the season alive, and you had to keep progression moving forward. So I think it was a good win. Garoppolo, we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic. I mean, I touched on a lot of it last night, and then I did another live stream on TikTok afterwards. Just as a whole, defense was the key to this game. Defense won this game, and I suppose we should talk about one last time the end of this game. Before we move on from the Week 5 recap, we should talk about the end of this game, and because I would like to get your guys' comments in the comments on what you thought about the end of the game. So it's 4th and 1. You had 2.5 minutes left. Josh hadn't been overly effective. He's averaging 3.5 yards a carry on the day. He hadn't been overly effective. He ended up with 20 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown. He'd been okay, but they hadn't been overly dominant. Do you run the ball there? Do you give it to Josh? If you don't get it, you're going to give them the ball about midfield. They got a short field, and they're coming back with plenty of time and a couple timeouts. If you kick it, you go up by 7, a full touchdown with an extra point. Means they got to go down and score. The chances of you losing really dwindles. Worst case scenario is probably overtime. They're probably not going to go for the 2 to win. They'll probably take overtime and force overtime. They'll just be happy to get to overtime. Or you got an all-world punter, option 3, which analytically is saying that your best case scenario was you punt in that option. You punt with your all-world punter, you pin them inside the 10, and you let your defense, who's played very, very well, close the game out for you and make the other team have to go the whole distance to win. They needed a touchdown. They were going to need a touchdown to beat you. Field goal wasn't going to do it. So they would have had to go the whole field. So those were your 3 options. 1, 2, or 3. So do you take option 1 and you hand it to Josh? Or, you've even got option 1 and option 1B. You hand it to Josh, or you do like a quarterback sneak or some gadgety play. I think the only realistic plays are quarterback sneak or handing it to Josh. I think those are your really... Or you do a quick handoff to Jakob Johnson, a fullback type run. Maybe it's one of those. So you've got, we'll say option 1 is one of those 3, running the ball of some sort to get the first. I think that's a good percentage play. I like that play because, to me, that's being aggressive. That's the aggressive call to me. That's stepping on a throat, and that's trying to put the game away. Because if you, out of all of those scenarios, the only one that allows you to keep the fucking ball and continue to grind the clock and move forward and just continue to step on the throat and wrench and just cut that windpipe off a little more is to run and get that first. Because if you kick and you miss, you're giving them the ball. Right there in the midfield, the same spot as if you don't get the first. So the negative consequences are the same. And if you punt, you're putting it in the hands of the defense anyway. To me, you run it. I don't know, AAA. I don't know. If a play like that works, you look at them like they're a fucking genius. But if that play doesn't work, I hate lateral plays. I hate lateral plays when it's you gotta get it. I would rather fucking be mano-y-mano, fucking, tighten up the fucking jock straps. Let's fucking hit. Hit to get that yard. I would rather do that than be going in the wrong direction. Because if you get hit sideways when you're going laterally, you've got no push. You've taken everything away. I don't know. I just think that's too critical of a time. I think you just gotta, that's when you just bow up and you just gotta go fucking get it. I think you just gotta go get it. So I question that call. I didn't like that call. I thought it was too passive. I think you gotta be aggressive. I think at some point you've got to be aggressive. So, I don't know. It didn't cost him the win. So we can go back and forth 100 times on this one. And I can see every angle on this one. And I can see every argument that you can have for that one. I don't think his call was the best one. I think the 2 best calls were you run it or you punt it. Kicking with Carlson not just looking like he was on. And to me, somebody said earlier, I seen that comment was, well, he's a stud kicker and stud kickers usually don't miss 2 in a row. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Kicking's a little it's like golf. It's like baseball a little bit. Something's just off. Something's just off a little bit. Whether it's your step, the way you swing in the leg, the way you strike in the ball, something's just off a little bit, and you're just off a little. And usually, when it's something like that, you're usually off for the day. And you'll see that from kickers. They'll go out and they'll miss a couple extra points and a field goal. They usually don't just miss one. One was blocked. Did he not get it? The trajectory high enough, and that was my other concern, was the push. I mentioned that in the post game, was when you're kicking from that distance, it brings the trajectory of the ball down. You can't have the trajectory as, to clear the line. You got to bring it down a little bit because you're going more distance, and that puts you more in the line of fire to get it blocked. So with that push, that made you more susceptible to that happening again. So it was I just think out of the three options, I think that was the most passive aggressive, and I think it was your lowest probability of victory was with that option. And granted, he won with the lowest probability option, but I would willing to bet that that's not the high percentage thing that you would like to do on a regular basis. It just seems like at the end of the games, Josh McDaniels overthinks shit and makes things more complicated than it should be. I think he needs to simplify things a little bit. It's not... Some of these motherfuckers overthink it, and they make the game way more complicated than it really needs to be. It's simple and violent at some points. It really, really is. All right, moving on. All right, we got a new segment for you. We got to touch on these. We got to touch on these QBs here.
Yo, mama.
So we used to have a little segment, previous quarterback, and we're going to bring back a weekly segment, Quarterback Club, because Jimmy G's health's in question. He could be up and down. We hope more up than down this season, but you never know. So, I'd like to welcome you to our first edition of the Quarterback Club. As you see, we've got all three of our quarterbacks present and accounted for. We got Brian Hoyer back here chilling on the stage. He's warming up around the pole. Of course, we got Super Trooper number 4 over here, and Jimmy G back here. He's just waiting for the ladies to show up. So, first segment of Quarterback Club, and let's talk about Jimmy G first. Let's start with him. Jimmy Garoppolo, 7 interceptions. And even Troy Aikman said it during the show last night. I did a breakdown of his first 6 interceptions. I'm not adding in the fucking 7th. That one was a horrible pick. I would have taken probably 2 of the interceptions away from him, and would have put those on him, and one of them was a desperation heave at the end of the game. So I would have really only put about 3 of the first 6. But he definitely earned number 4. So that's definitely 4 that are for sure on him. The interception yesterday, and I went back and looked at that play, and I really wanted to look at it on the coach's tape because I wanted to see the other angles. But he really only had 2 options on that play. And when you go back and look at some of the other plays and some of the other situations that he finds himself in, Josh McDaniels his play calls at sometimes seem to limit the options a little bit. That was a very limited play. He really only had 2 options, and he went to the better of the 2. Obviously, probably shouldn't have thrown the damn ball at all because it was horrible interception at a very critical time in the game. And you just can't throw those type of picks. What he has been and what he was bringing to the table is a guy who has been very efficient in the red zone, who's been very secure with the ball, who doesn't make the bad interceptions, and who's a great game manager, controls the clock, can work with a great running game, controls time of possession, helps your strong defense out. These are all the positives that Jimmy was bringing to the table, and so far, he's not been horribly good with controlling the ball and not turning it over. 7 interceptions. That's not good. I mean, we can't cover that up. You can't mask that. But the play calling. I mean, let's compare what the Super Trooper did the week before with what Jimmy G did this week. 3 fumbles and an interception. The common denominator with what both of these guys have been dealing with is the lack of time. They don't have time because their offensive line, quite frankly, is fucking blowing blocks left and right. Parham missed a couple that put Jimmy G fucking under fire. Several guys missed blocks that put him under fire this week. And Super Trooper saw the same thing the week before. That's why he pissed down his leg the whole first half. And it was a big common denominator and a factor in the first 3 games as well that Jimmy was dealing with. I don't know what's up with this line. They just can't seem to get the run blocking going. Josh just can't seem to get going. Josh is sitting only 250 yards rushing, somewhere around there for the season already. I mean, from a guy who was the league's leading running back last season, they're just not getting it done. And time and the pressure on the quarterbacks. I mean, we've seen it week after week. They just don't have time. They don't have time. They're going to be talking about it in the club, man. You got to protect them. They need time to do what they got to do back there. None of us want to see Brian Hoyer. Granted, I don't want to see Brian Hoyer. I don't want to see Super Trooper again. I'd like to see Jimmy G stay upright and see what Jimmy Garoppolo can do with a healthy season. I still think he's learning how to use his tools. He's never played with any of these guys before. It's a whole new team to him. He hasn't been in this scheme for a few seasons. He's been with Shanahan. So he's coming back in. He's learning the scheme again. He's playing with all new players. I still think it takes half a season or so before these guys really start to click. He's got to be out there. They've got to keep him upright. And that falls on this offensive line to keep these fucking quarterbacks upright. Absolutely, man. Or there ain't no fucking QB club. It's going to be a fucking mash unit. We got to talk about Mad Max Crosby. This guy is looking like a fucking generational player. He is literally one statistic away from being in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. Max has 5 sacks, which is averaging 1 per game. He needs multiple sack games. He is so close to being there that it is ridiculous. They hang on him like fucking cheap clothing. Just linemen draped all over him every game, and they never throw the motherfucking flag. Never throw the flag. He is held on at least 80% of the fucking plays. And there are some games where they don't throw a flag for 1 hold against him, which is absolutely fucking ludicrous. If this guy can just be handled legally, I think he would be an absolute unstoppable menace. He's just got to complete a couple more plays and get to the quarterback a few more times. His quarterback hits and his quarterback pressures are up there at the top of the league with everybody else. The problem is he's just not getting that last step and getting that sack. It's all about the stats when you're talking about the Defensive Player of the Year. It's all about stats, and you got to have them sacks. He is on pace to be double digits easily. He's averaging 1 a game. He's at 5 right now. You've seen, they couldn't even talk about him enough on the broadcast last night. He just wrecked fucking shop. He was everywhere. They were moving him around. They were stunning him. They were doing everything they could with Max. He was a fucking problem for that offense last night. A problem. On every fucking play, they had to put a fucking circle on 98. Where the fuck is that guy at? Where's he coming from this time? God damn it! Put a body on that motherfucker! He was coming every fucking time. Dude has a motor that don't stop, man. That don't stop. Enjoy it, Raider Nation. Enjoy it. We don't get guys like this very often. We had Khalil Mack for a brief minute, and then he was gone. Guys like this don't stay around all the time. Enjoy him. I hope we have him. I hope he's a Raider for life. He should be a Raider for life. They should never let this guy leave house. He's the embodiment of Lyle Alzado, Howie Long, Greg Townsend, all of the great guys who put their hand in the fucking dirt for the Silver and Black over the years. I mean, he's just one of those guys in the lineage, man. He's a generational player, and to find this guy in the fourth fucking round is just insane. Insane. He was definitely a hit. And a couple other guys who have been hits as well. We've talked about it, and we've talked about it for a long time. Linebackers. We need linebackers. Draft a linebacker. You got to sign a linebacker. Bring in a veteran linebacker. Divine Diablo was the linebacker they went out and drafted. We were hoping he would be a guy that's going to help with that problem. Robert Spillane is the guy who'd worked his way up through a few years with the Steelers. He'd gotten better and better and better and was ready to be the top dog, to be the guy out there, ready to get after it. These two guys right now have absolutely been wrecking shop over the last couple weeks. And this last game, these guys were, man, they were getting it done. Spillane with the double interceptions. Diablo and him both were leading the team in tackles. They were getting in their tackles for losses. They were blowing up runs. These guys were a fucking force this weekend. An absolute force. They were handling the linebacker duties basically with just the two of them. These guys were fucking amazing. I enjoyed watching the defense. I can't wait to go back and watch the coaches tape. I'm going to watch it tomorrow just for fucking fun. Just because I want to watch the defensive side of the ball, and I really want to get a chance to see this game and how it gets closed out in the end. These guys played phenomenal, and if these guys continue to get better, and continue to play together the way that they're playing right now, I'm telling you, by the middle of this season, if the offense continues to gel, if Jimmy G starts to continue to get better with his tools and starts to get better with the team around him, if your defense continues to get better, your linebacker play continues to grow, your cornerback play continues to grow, you leave Bennett on the bench, your safeties look good, Epps and Moehrig are starting to come around as a tandem. You got Mad Max up front. The rookie Tyree's coming around. He's getting healthier and better every game. You're getting some push in the middle here and there. This defense can start to gel. I'm telling you, man, I know I'm probably over-optimistic. And I'm being probably a little over-optimistic with what this team can do. But it's sports, man. It's sports, and it happens to somebody every fucking year. It's some team that does it that ain't supposed to. Why the fuck can't it be the Raiders? Why can't it be? In spite of McWeasel, why can't it be the Raiders? Why not, man? Somebody's got to be there. That's what I'm saying, Mark. The defense is starting to come around. Maybe we need to pump the brakes a little on Patrick Graham. You know? Because I'm starting to see improvement. Why not the Raiders? Why can't it be the Raiders? It's some other fucking team every year. Why can't it be us? All right, we got it's our parameter for how the world looks at the Raiders. And we like to go with ESPN, the worldwide leader in bullshit related to sports. And last week, ESPN had the Raiders sitting at 29. Well, it moved on up a little bit. Moving on up. Moving on up to 26. Not stellar, but I would say that's about where they honestly belong. You're sitting at 2 and 3. Dude, the team's not scoring over 20 points right now. But listen, I still think they're in the growth phase. The team continues to get better on offense and continues to get better on defense. You start scoring more points. You continue to keep scores low on the defensive side of the ball, making splash plays, making turnovers. I don't see any reason why this can't change and change quickly and continue to be positive and work on it, especially with the games you got going forward, man. Especially with the games you got going forward. Very favorable schedule going forward, and there's no reason at all, that you shouldn't be able to be very successful with this team going forward. I firmly believe that. Absolutely believe that. I'm not even bullshitting myself. That's the ESPN rankings. We'll check them again next week. See if we went up, see if we went down. See what the fuck is going on. All that shit. All right, moving on. Sponsors, Cool Kid in the newsletter. Shit got fucked up a little last week. We had some technical issues. We're getting things fixed, I think. But go to the website, RaiderReaction.com. I'm making some updates. We've got a newsletter that's going to be dropping either tomorrow or Thursday morning. We had to move the raffle 1 week, so we are doing the subscriber raffle this Thursday. So go to RaiderReaction.com. Scroll to the bottom of any of the pages. Put your email address in there so you can get the newsletter when we send that out here in the next 48 hours. And while you're there, go to the subscriber page, learn about being a subscriber, Raider Reaction. Hit that subscriber button around the video that you're watching right now on Facebook. Become a subscriber, be one of the cool kids. Throws you in the Dark Side Inner Circle group, and you have a chance to win all of our 10 prize packs that we're going to be giving away on Thursday. You have a chance to win all them sons of bitches because you have a chance to win every prize. You'll be one of the cool kids like JoJo and have one of them kick-ass badges like Bill. Got to be one of the cool kids. Got to be one of the cool kids. Got one of them badges next to your name. That means you're one of the cool kids and you're a subscriber of Raider Reaction Facebook page. And you will have a chance to win everything in our raffle. And while you're there, click that button on the homepage for clear live streams. Send Bryant a message. Tell him you need the hookup. Raider Nation hooking up Raider Nation. And don't be getting bent over to watch your Raider football. And anything else that you need to watch. Moving along. Pat's preview. Not Pat, like Pat from Saturday Night Live. The Cheatriots. Yeah, that's an old motherfucking reference. Aging myself. Don't you look at me side-eyed down there, you little short motherfucker. I seen you. Easy. Let me smack a midget. Live. Nobody can see you. You're under the fucking desk anyway. They'll just hear a thud. All right. Moving along. Pat's preview. Cheatriots preview. Bill Belichick is coming off the 2 worst performances in his coaching history. I mean, this man was a Brown, so I don't think that encompasses all of his Browns. I think that's just the 2 worst losses since he's been a Patriots coach. I'm not sure if that's his whole career, but 2 pretty fucking shitty losses nonetheless. So the Patriots coming off 2 horrible losses, 2 of the worst in Belichick's career. They're not looking good. And somebody said in the comments, I'll never count out Belichick, and I'll give him that. He's a historic Hall of Fame coach. All of that, we don't need to read his fucking resume. We all know it. But the fact of the matter is, man ain't got no tools in the fucking toolbox. Okay? I don't care what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build a fucking birdhouse and you ain't got a fucking hammer, all you got's a fucking screwdriver and a fucking square, it's going to be hard to build your motherfucking birdhouse. And he's trying to build a birdhouse. I don't even know if I'd call him Mac Jones a fucking screwdriver. What is he? He like a tool? I don't know. Was he like a shim? I don't even know if I'd call him an actual tool. He's just like an accessory. He's like a door shim. Mac Jones he ain't it, and he ain't got talent around him. The defensive side of the ball is beat up. They lost Judon. They are not in good shape. This is not a franchise that is coming in hitting on all cylinders. This is a very winnable game. This is a team that has not scored over 20 points. Now, every time I say that, some fucker from the back row's got to be like, man, the Raiders ain't it either, man. Raiders ain't scored points either. I didn't say that. We know what the Raiders' deficiencies are, but I'm saying this is a winnable fucking game. A very winnable game. Is it a guarantee? There is no guarantees in the National Football League, and there definitely ain't no fucking guarantees for the Silver and Black. We know that. We come in playing the Patriots, as well as the officials and the National Football League in general, just hating the Raiders franchise just cuz. For many, many reasons. So we already know we're coming in with a stacked deck against us every fucking week. But still, it's a very fucking winnable game. I give the Raiders a much better than a 50-50 chance in this game. I think they can go out and absolutely, if the defense plays like the defense just played on Monday night, I think they can dominate this game. I think they can dominate this game, and I think that side of the ball can dictate what happens. I think you can get another couple turnovers out of Mac Jones in this offense. I think you can get a couple splash plays on defense to set up your offense that puts you in short field position, that makes it easy on Jimmy Garoppolo, easy on your run game, easy to get things working. I think this is a win. I'm going to, bold prediction here. Bold prediction. Raiders are going to break 20 points. They're going to break 20 points this week. I do believe the defense scores a touchdown this game. Not sure how. Pick six, scoop and score. Maybe even a return. Could possibly be special teams. But I'm saying defense, special teams. Helps in the scoring. And they get over 20. And it's a win. 3 boxes to be checked. That's my prediction. They're going to go over 20. Defensive special teams score. And the win. There we go. That's my bold prediction for the week. Going out on a big limb there. Not really. It's like a medium-sized limb. I think they got a good possibility. A game like that is a morale booster. It's a momentum booster for your team. Just your team as a whole. Just moving forward. That's something you can build off of. That's good mojo. Man, you go in on a losing streak like that, going out on Monday Night Football and losing in front of the world again in your second primetime game of the season, that's not a good look. You don't want that. That's hard to build positives off of. Turning around, going back into another game at home. You can build a lot off of this last win. It was a positive game for Jimmy Garoppolo. He needs a clean game with no picks. That's really what he needs this Patriots game. He needs a clean game with no picks. If he didn't throw that pick this last game, that was a really good game. That was a Jimmy Garoppolo type game. He was very efficient. When you look at his passing chart, he was very efficient. But this is what the passing charts have looked like every week, even with Aiden the week before. They're not throwing the deep ball at all. There was no completions over 20 yards again. A lot of completions behind the line of scrimmage. If you don't have that red dot up there that was that egregious interception, that's a Jimmy Garoppolo type game. Efficient. Was dicing him up, man. Dude, he looked really good in the first half. If you just watch the first half, he looked really good. Man, they were night and day coming out after half in the third quarter. They just couldn't get anything going. And he looked completely different. I guess I would have to give the favor to the adjustments coming out of half to the defense. But this game here, man, I think this is a very, very winnable game. You've got this game backed up with the Bears game. These are a couple very winnable games. Very winnable games. Of course, these are NFL teams. These teams are fighting for their lives as well. So there's no game that's a walk in the National Football League. There's no such thing as a walk. You got to go out there. You got to beat the fucking team. But I absolutely think they can go out and win this game. I think this is a completely winnable game. I really, really do. And if you win this, now you're 3-3, and you're looking at going on the road to the Bears. And if the Bears had a nice win, but if they come out and they go back to being the Bears, which is probably what's going to happen, that morale is going to go right in the toilet by the time they're seeing the Raiders. So it's hard to tell what's going to happen there. It's hard to tell. I'm not saying Raiders are going to the playoffs. Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. But I'm telling you, there's reason to be optimistic about your team, Raider Nation. And it's right there with the schedule laid out ahead of you. It gets rough down the stretch. It'll get rough down the stretch. That's why this team's got to win some games and gel over about the next 3 to 4 games. But if they can win a few games and gel over these next 3 to 4 games, they're right in the fucking mix, man. They're right in the mix, and they could be getting hot at the right time. Health and luck are a big thing in the National Football League. And let's hope the Raiders get a little bit of both this season. That's all we can say. Raiders are going to score over 20. They're going to win this game, and the defense or special teams is going to score. That's my prediction. Pat's preview. We do have a fan of the week this week. We have a fan of the week couple this week. They've been hanging around this joint for a while. Have been fan of the week before. Oh shit! You didn't even warn me. No warning. No fucking 2-minute warning. Nothing. No 2-minute warning. Jesus, fucking amateur fucking hour. Give him a couple shots of Hennessy. I tell you, a couple shots of Hennessy. 2 midgets. Pre-game. I know. You talked me into the second. It's like half a fucking gallon to your little ass. All right, moving along. Fan of the week. We got one. Fan of the week. These guys both watch. His dad watches. I think fucking siblings watch. I hope they don't make their kids watch. But everybody above age watches in the family. So we gotta hook them up. And it's such a nice picture. I mean, how could we not hook them up? And plus they're wearing Raider Reaction gear as well. The Richies, we gotta hook them up. Let's give them a pro. There we go. Fans of the week. To be fan of the week, all you got to do is send us a picture to Raider Reaction, any of our social media platforms, just like Tony and Gabe did. And we will pick you for fan of the week, possibly on one of our Tuesday podcasts going forward. That's all you got to do. Look at that. Make football violent again. That is going to be our October special. It is actually live at RaiderReaction.com, the shop right now. We've put together a Make Football Violent Again combo with a bunch of goodies, fuck your team stickers and some other stuff. And yeah, we'll be dropping that. Details will be in the newsletter. But it's actually live right now on RaiderReaction.com if you'd like to be one of the first ones to go order it. You can get yourself on over there. But we will be making videos and advertising that. So thank you all. Thank you, Richies. Appreciate you. And I don't know if I play, Gabe? I don't know if we play in fantasy. I'll have to check that out. If we actually play in fantasy this season. He's in our fantasy league as well. And he's still scratching. He's one of the 3 left in our Survivor League. We've only got 3 left in that sumbitch. I'm one of them. I'm fighting like a motherfucker now. I'm getting down to the wire now. I want to win. Shit. It was my first Survivor League, too. I'd never done one before. I always wanted to do one. But I do so much shit before the season. And it was just like my last second. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I know. Shit's gone. You'll be getting. Don't worry. All right, we got one last segment. one last segment. Thank you all for joining me, man. Each and every damn one of you. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all. I know, we're all broke down around here, Bill. I got a fucking wife with a broken foot. Fucking, it's a shit show around here. Everybody should be getting their goodies, though, anytime. So I'm trying to get the last couple things out. The table's about empty. Because then now we gotta have a raffle on fucking Thursday, and the table's gonna fucking fill up again. Alright. Alright. Thank you all for joining me, man. I appreciate it, each and every damn one of you. We got one last segment here. We got to close it out. And I've been waiting to touch on this for a minute. Hold on. I'm going to need enough of a wind up for this one. Hold on a second. Yeah. Let's dial it back a little. Yeah. Let's pull that bitch back. We're going to need a little bit more time for this one. All right. Like to close every show with the WTF. Those of you that are new, grab your popcorn. This one might be entertaining for you. But it's just a little nice little segment. You know, you watch the news, and the news is all gloom and fucking doom. Bus of fucking kids rolled over here and caught fire and they all burned to death. Family of 5 died on the fucking interstate. Girl was raped. There's fucking war in fucking third world countries. That's all it is. You watch the news and it's gloom and doom, and then at the end they hold up a puppy and some happy fucking story and be like, but look, and here's a cute puppy that was adopted from the animal shelter. He's got a new home. Isn't that great? His name's Cookie. And then you're gone. They fill you full of fucking 29 minutes of fucking gloom and doom, and then give you fucking a 30-second fluff story at the end so you walk away with a smile. Well, here at Raider Reaction, we're the complete opposite. We don't want no fluff story at the end. We want to bring the fucking fire to close the motherfucker out. Let's get it. It's a little thing that we like to call the WTF. I don't know where the fuck this shit has come from in the last 7 motherfucking days, where fucking people have started crawling up my ass and accusing me of some stupid shit. Stupid shit. Listen, if there's something and I've done, somebody's pissed off at me for some reason, I've usually will own up to it. I've probably done something. I was probably an asshole. I probably said something I shouldn't have said, or I don't even care if I said it, but it was probably due to something I said, and I understand why somebody feels a certain way, or whatever. I understand that typically I usually play a part in it, but I've had it happen, and it's been on multiple social media platforms, and it's been multiple random people and random fucking names that I don't normally see in my shows, see on the pages, or see anywhere else. And they're coming at me from, literally left fucking field. Accusing, hold on. We're not even close. I still didn't get enough wind up. Accusing me of basically being a opinion thief, listening to other podcasts and stealing their opinions and respouting them. This is the most absurd thing that I've ever heard of in my life. First off, I've been doing my podcasts and my show and my pages longer than most of these other motherfuckers have. I don't waste my time watching anybody else's shit. So I'm sorry if my opinion somewhat sounded like somebody else's or his opinion sounded like mine. This is the dumbest shit I ever heard. That's some bottom feeder inbred bullshit. So I've had that going on in the comments over the last 7 days, that I'm stealing my opinion last week on some topic sound like somebody else. I don't fucking know. I'm just like, this is the most absurd shit. I literally don't listen to anybody else. It's just asinine. This is the dumb shit that we have brought to our doorstep. And then some other motherfucker wanted to come at me for stealing memes. And starts tagging me in groups and saying, you know, we'll steal your meme and slap our sticker on it and blah, 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 blah. So, first off, I'll address both. Anybody that watches this show knows damn well I ain't stealing nobody's fucking opinion. If you've ever sat and watched one of my podcasts from start to fucking finish, my mind is all over the place. Trust me, I'm not stealing anybody's opinions. The only script I got is those little bullet points of fucking shit down the fucking side over there that kind of keep me in the road. That's as much planning as we do. I like to sit down and be as unadulterated and as unscripted, as unfiltered as possible. And part of what I do, just like watching tape and making sure I'm informed, part of also what I do is I do not watch a single other Raider content creator. I don't listen to JT the Brick. I don't listen to any Raider fucking radio shows. I don't watch any Raider podcasts, visual or any other. Even guys that I've actually am friends with and friendly with, I don't watch their shit either. Why? Because nobody's fucking opinion is going to sway my own. Because what I do, I take serious what I fucking do. People may think it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke. When I come on here and I speak my mind, I give my opinion, it's my motherfucking opinion. Mine. Hey, I'm flattered that somebody else may think the same way that I do. That just means there's another brilliant fucking mind out there in Raider Nation. And that's all that means. But don't come fucking tripping up to the motherfucking counter trying to cash checks when your fucking dumbass can't even reach the fucking counter, okay? You can't even find the counter to try to cash the check you're trying to bring to my fucking door. I'm about the most genuine motherfucker you're gonna find on here talking fucking Raiders. Period. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say, and I speak from the fucking heart. Period. I don't bite nobody's shit. There's probably a better fucking chance that somebody's biting my shit. Because people have been biting my shit for fucking years. Every motherfucking idea I come up with is bit, fucking repackaged, and done all over fucking Raider groups by other fucking creators. All the time. Who was the first motherfucker started running old classic games? I was. 7 goddamn fucking years ago. And now they're fucking everywhere. Every little thing that we've done at Raider Reaction, everybody bites us. Don't be coming to me trying to cash checks, motherfuckers, because I know your bitch ain't got the fucking receipt to cover it. I will call a motherfucker out live. I will go on your fucking show. I don't give a fuck who you are. I sit in big boy rooms every fucking day with fucking leaders of major cities, major corporations, big businesses every day. Nobody fucking intimidates me. Nobody scares me. I talk in big boy world all the fucking time. So if you think this little fucking playground out here scares me, motherfucker, come on. I challenge anybody. You don't think I'm genuine? You think I'm full of shit? Motherfucker, I'll put me in a live forum with your ass. I'm gonna make you stutter and look like a fucking drooling fucking retard. You ain't ready. You ain't ready to step in the arena with me. You ain't ready. I don't know who you are that's out there fucking running your motherfucking mouth, but you ain't ready. You ain't ready to step into this fucking arena. You ain't ready to step in my fucking arena because my arena is every fucking where, and I'll come right in yours. I'll find out where your motherfucking studio's at. I'll come there and we'll fucking sit down and we'll have it out right on the fucking show. Don't fucking bring checks to me that you can't cash. And your memes, I look at your fucking memes like I walk in a bar and it's a sexy chick sitting at the bar. That's your meme. If I walk up, your meme ain't got a tag on it, just like that sexy girl sitting at the bar ain't got a ring on it, guess what? I'm slapping it on the ass and taking it home. I'm putting a Raider Reaction tag on that bitch, and that motherfucker's mine. And it's leaving with me, and it's going on our fucking platforms. And if you don't like it, tag your shit. And if it's good enough, I'll still stick my tag over yours. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck about you and your fucking bitch-ass memes. If your little fucking graphic, I'm a graphic artist. Yeah, you stole a picture from somebody else, twisted, morphed it, put some other shit that you stole from other people on it, and you want to call it your own. You're not a fucking artist, okay? You made a fucking meme. You stole all the shit to make it, and I'm gonna steal it from you. And guess what? I don't give a fuck about it. You can go cry about it, you can sit in the comments and bitch about it, and guess what? I don't give a fuck. Go make nice ones for me. So I can take them home with me, fucking bitch. What the fuck? You know who I'm talking about. I think your fucking name was Aaron. Crying ass fucking... But I'm a graphic designer. Fuck you. I'm out. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, don't bring fucking checks to me you can't cash. Don't ever come at me calling me a fucking thief. I'll steal your fucking memes. That's one thing. That's all stolen bullshit anyway. Saying I'm stealing my fucking words that are coming out of my mouth? You're challenging my integrity, and you're calling me a fucking liar. I'll dot a motherfucker for that. That's personal, bitch. Until next time, I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.